Welcome to the Jehovih Chronicles with your host, Cosmon Cal. Welcome to the Jehovih Chronicles with your host, Cosmon Cal.
That's right. Your hostess with the mostest, holding that fire like a roach clip. You naga your nerve. Fresh off of that curved jelly, jam and preserve, Cosmonian. Right back up in this thing, hey y'all. Love, light, balance out there to the whole gang. You dig what I'm saying? Create a gang is definitely in this thing. You dig what I'm talking about? It's always, it's forever, it's onwards and outwards. Forever and ever, all praises to the ever-present great spirit, the one who always was, always is, and always shall ever be. The past, the present, and the future, the Alpha and Omega. The condenser and the destroyer, the quickener, the mover. The God maker, all praise to the great EOI. Sometimes, you know what, I don't even be really having like topics. I just be doing research, and then I share my research. And when you're dealing with this, oh man, this thing be hitting like steel. It just don't miss. And this is why I named this one. We creeping up there. This Jehovih Chronicles number 239. Imagine when I really get some time and get to bang 2-3 of these out a day. You dig what I'm talking about? Even one a day. And I'm gonna start doing that too, because I think we just need another straight reading of oahspe. If y'all agree with that too, you know what I mean? Just to go back through a reading of oahspe, especially creation, the purpose, and the so-called doctrine of oahspe. The history and all that, and the times giving of the higher and lower heavens. That's all up to you to take into yourself and see if it resonates with you. You dig what I'm talking about? And I'm telling you, it's a beautiful read. And if you can keep it 100 with yourself, well, then you're gonna find many, many, many benefits coming up out of oahspe. But today, I wanted to show y'all some connections, right? Because ain't no way, right? A book like oahspe, right? The way it reads, you dig what I'm talking about? The information it shares, after reading it, the way it makes you feel, right? With some of its overall tenets, like one of the very great tenets of oahspe is to question authority, right? To always bang on that beast, to never ever just go with what anybody say. Not a Lord God, not a God, not a Messiah or a Savior. You was better off going on your own inspiration. Why? Because the inspiration comes directly from Creator, especially when you got a clear vessel for the tune to come in and resonate through. The thing that it resonates through is your mental state. You dig what I'm talking about? Proven by your ability to comprehend. You dig what I'm saying? If y'all can, share the live out, thumb up the video. Let's get this algorithm popping. Your cousin ain't been back on here in a couple days. You dig what I'm saying? I'ma just set the mood real quick. You dig what I'm saying? Get some of this Jaja music moving up in here, get the vibe going. And because one of the things is that oahspe is so vast, and for its effects to be brought about, you dig what I'm talking about, it had to be spoken about not only during but before and afterwards. So the fact that we don't see a lot of people actually touting oahspe openly, but we see a lot of people stealing its information, straight gaffling, right? Straight gaffling information, right? Acting like they came with it. You dig what I'm talking about? Even your boy Church Word, the whole Nakal system and all that, straight out of oahspe. You dig what I'm talking about? The story of Noah, the great continent being sunken in the Pacific, right? It comes out of oahspe. Remember, even with Atlantis, they were talking about the Atlantic. Where did Church Word get his ideas from, right? And then the dope part about oahspe is it lets you know stuff before it happened. It prophesies on itself, right? It gives you prophecy. And this is one of the dope parts about it, right? And because prophecy is not what they told us it was, right? They told us like it comes from outside of you, and it's this mystical, magical feeling that comes over you, and then you start saying and writing stuff. And that's not how it works. How do you know that's not how it works, Cosmon? Because, the Creator actually taught us. We have a whole book on how to prophesy. And see, what you must learn is that prophecy is not guesswork. It ain't no willy-nilly thing. It ain't no, this might happen. No. Absolute rules govern the whole universe, right? So guess what? Absolute rules govern prophecy. Remember, even the God of the Bible, right, gave you the ability to prophesy or to tell time, right? And by the ability to tell time using light and dark, you can apply the light and dark backwards and then apply it forwards. That is prophecy, y'all. In a nutshell. But God, of the biblical fame, gave you the sun and the moon as, tools to tell time, right? And to prophecy, right? Calendars and clocks, right? But the biblical God, as always, comes a little lacking. Because, you said you created the moon. You said you created the sun, right? You even said to Genesis 1 and 14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night. So there are lights in space, right? This is our atmosphere in the firmament, right? But remember, we are not the only thing in our galaxy. We're not even the biggest or the best. We have a sun, and we are in its atmosphere. Its atmosphere is called the solar system. And we, as Earth, are in the atmosphere or the solar system of our sun. Right? But look, this God said, let there be lights in space, in the firmament of heaven, to divide the day from the night. So he made lights to divide day from night. But these lights, right, they will be for signs. What does a sign do? It alerts you to a time or a place where a thing is going to happen. When you're coming down the freeway, right, and you're about to get off at the exit, there's a sign that lets you know in a half mile it's exit whoop-de-wop, and you can go this way, right? So he said he created the sun and the moon for signs, so man will know which way to go, right? And for seasons, summer, winter, fall, spring, but not just on Earth, but galactically. Also for days and years. So these lights that were created in the heaven, right, put in the firmament, right, were to be for signs, seasons, and for days and years, clocks and calendars, telling you which way to go, signs. And look, and let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. So we know right here on the fourth day, right, after the third day, the fourth day, God made the two great lights, that both of them, right, both of them, not just one, right, not just one of them, both of them give light to the earth. Does the sun give light during the day? Does the moon give light during the night? Yes, it does. These lights, right? So we know that these lights now are what? The sun and the moon. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, the sun, and the lesser to rule the night, right? He made but see, now he told you that he made them for signs and for seasons and for days and for years, right? He told you that he did that, but he didn't then turn around and teach you how, right, to use these lights in the firmament, this sun and this moon, he didn't teach you how to tell the signs, He didn't tell you how to extrapolate a season out of the moon or the sun. He didn't tell you how to extrapolate a day out of the moon. He didn't teach you how to count. Ask your God what year it is, he'll tell you 5785, Cosmon. That means I created everything on 3761 BC. It's a problem. That your God tells you a thing that should be so objective, there should be no way you could get around this. You should be able to look in the sky and see signs and know by the sun and the moon what season it is, what day it is, and what year it is. If you see that the God of the Bible didn't teach you how to use the sun and the moon, right? Even though he said, I made the sun and the moon to tell time, right? So you could tell time. That's the whole reason I made it. But if you see now that he didn't teach you how to use it, hit me with a 1 in the chat. Have any of y'all went to a curriculum in school that taught you how to use the sun and the moon to tell time? And then the dope part is to now extrapolate it. You dig what I'm talking about, against the Gregorian and Justinian calendars. But even with things like astronomy, astrology, right? Mathematics, time, length and measurement. Even with all that, if you don't start in the right place, you gonna end up in the wrong place. Don't matter if you got all the math in the middle right, which is what the astrology is, or what the astronomy is, or what the cosmogony is, right? All that's in the middle is correct. But you ain't starting in the right place. You don't know where to start, how to start counting. Why? Because he didn't teach you how to measure for days and years and seasons, huh? And to be able to picture the signs of the sun and the moon. So the fact that oahspe then turns around and does teach you, right, how to use the sun and the moon to tell time. Y'all think I'm capping? Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. I know I got one somewhere on this, because I'm on a different little thing. Hold on one second. Boom. See, when you learn how to use the sun and the moon properly from the creator, not from the gods and the lords and everybody who want to act like they the creator, right? You'll get you a chart like this. They try to scare you with this information. Oh, it's the devil. Don't use 33. That's the Mason number. They're going to get you, Cosmine. Look, they be talking about the Ark of Noah, Noah's flood. Look, that's the 17th ark cycle after the creation of man. 51,000 years after upright men like me and you stood up on the earth. During the Gregorian time of 23,153 or to 19,553 BC, or a 3,600 year period called Noah. Look, the what? Ark of Noah. Starting in 23,153 BC. And during that time, look, right here on the 17th ark cycle, what happens during the Ark of Noah? The flood. Mind y'all, we way down here. This is where we at. Right here. Anybody know what year it is? extra faithist points, you could tell me what year it is. Salute out everybody there in the chat, man. You know what? Maybe I should blast this out. People, they ain't even up. You dig what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna let y'all cook. If y'all can tell me what year it is, what year is it since the creation of man? Huh? I'm gonna just leave this here. We in the 7th era, right? This is our present time. Y'all see this? Look, we don't even got a God. We got a goddess right now. Shout out to the big sis Shay Seavey. We are in the Cosmon era, the Ark of Cosmon. Remember, we was just in the Ark of Noah. Now here, we in the Ark of Cosmon. Huh? A 3,000 year span of time. Tell me, starting in 1848. Now I'm gonna ask you again, what year is it? Huh? Arc cycles are on average what? 3,000 year spans of time. We are in the 25th. Cosmon era starts in 1848. What year are we in? Right? I'm gonna go ahead and just cook for a minute, and then we'll come back, jump into the lesson real quick. You dig what I'm saying? Why oahspe? Why? You dig what I'm saying? Because it's dope. That's why. You dig what I'm saying? Oahspe is a monster, y'all. It's something different. I ain't even gonna front. It's something totally different than what you think it is, or what anybody that maybe lied and told you anything about it. That's because they ain't read it, y'all. They ain't read it, right? But let's bump a little something, man. We'll jump right up into it. You dig what I'm talking about? We'll get into the spiritualist movement. We'll show you why the spiritualist movement came around, right? I'm gonna show you this obscure ass book I just found. You dig what I'm talking about? Breaking down spirituality in America. Right? And these people thought they had the light. But we're going to find out that the people who thought they had the light got it took from them. But they prophesied that the light was going to be took and forever given to the righteous. They just thought they were the righteous. I'm going to show you that time ended in 1881, 1882, and the culmination of all this great spiritual stuff that was going on is oahspe. Ooh, cold. Ooh, we cold. And I'm going to let them tell you, why oahspe. Right? Let's get to it.
Yeah, I feel good. The atmospheric, green skies, the gang coming. I be in and out, so leave that thing running. Purified is preferred. Higher frequency, a higher bird. I observe on a different nerve. Breaking codes, I am the yoga. Deadly as a Ruger, straight and a shooter. Out the holster with this mudra, inoculation with the wisdom. Creator shape my prism and hit them with no schisms. Region turn the light up. Y'all disappointing like 9 to 5 and some write-ups. Something rearranged, let that boy cook. Organization 33, stay up in them books. Lead them boys shook. 46 divided, yeah, I'm Fort Michael. It was only rifle that I came up in this cycle. They say they gangsters, but they telling it. Step outside, take off my shoes and let the sun hit my melon. Had to be learned that the herb beat the medicine. It's the same matrix, so who you think you better than? Perfect.
exquisite ships navigating the mysteries of the universe. I command.
We dreamers. We dreamers. Yeah. That's when we're sleeping. Yeah. We dreamers. We dreamers. Bring it to fruition. It's reality. Oh yeah. ACT, you got some favors, so I know that my prayers go high. It's elevators on high, that's where my maker reside. I'm just his player besides my tribulation, my pride got in my way, but my God so liberating, yeah. So why you facing what you facing? It's really related, heavily sedated. Don't be for the taking, my peace I hated. Hard to break it, they try to shake it. What come with them sides is at stake, that bill you cannot repay it. Yeah, a demon slide, I'ma have to slay it. Around pets all my life, now I ain't gotta spray it. Got that water on its way, gon' have to convey it. Got heavenly power in my house and I ain't gotta pay it. No, but spread love be my M.O. T-I-V-E, but they whining like CC. Full of laughter like hee-hee. Heath Ledger go ha-ha. All the praise to my dada. I've been drinking that agua. Now you might think it's sci-fi. Must been on that la-la. I'm so connected Wi-Fi. So disconnect that rah-rah like Tada. No magic though, my creator magical. Frightened that's an act, but I be studying like my daddy though. Miss my daddy though. Blame my father's while my family broke. Trying to break the choke. Devil's thirsty, tell them grab a coke. They don't want the smoke. Well, I'll load them in my catapult. Wide toe, spirit got my back, that's a ladder. We dreaming, cold world, do you freezing? We have them type of seasons, supply a reason. I tell you singing is believing. I tell you singing is believing. Now if you're dreaming, cold world, do you freezing? Cover up while you're sleeping, supply a reason. I tell you singing is believing. I tell you seeing is believing. Sometimes I wanna hide out, bump that I just ride out. Ain't no time to time out, gotta work and put that time in. Laugh and keep from crying, fight done throw that tile in. On my month like Shaolin, he blowing me up, I'm dialed in. Can you answer that? Stop the cheating while you glancing back. Keep enhancing that, and he'll bless you with expansion packs. Real and that's the facts, real surreal, I talking Apple Jacks. We them boys that attack, every day like every game is action packed. Yeah, I know he perfect, timing never right when I be fighting with the serpent. I know he know I see him, why he plotting, why he lurking. I just watch him, no detergent, and it's all up on the person. Put the work in, man. Cold world, you're freezing. We have them type of seasons. We try to reason. I tell you, singing is believing. I tell you, singing is believing. Now if you're dreaming, cold world, you're freezing. Cover up while you're sleeping. Supply a reason. I tell you, singing is believing. I tell you, singing is believing.
Creator gang coming, creator gang coming. Turning up the light and watching boys start running. Let me tell you something, we ain't out here doing nothing. I can tell you scared, boy, niggas stop fronting. It was all in the plan.
Shout out to Cosmon Cal. Cosmon Cal, boy, I'm going to tell you something. He is a problem. He is a problem when it comes to these Hebrew Israelites. Y'all better stop playing. He is a problem. Cosmon Cal is a problem. Creator gang gang.
Creator gang is crazy. Boy, y'all better pay attention. Creator gang is crazy. Boy, y'all better pay attention.
We fight as a single, impenetrable unit. That is the source of our strength.
Now, before I go into this video on spiritualism, right? Because oahspe kind of did come up out of the spiritualist movement, but oahspe is the culmination, right, of the higher light of the creator bombarding up to the planet high Etherian angels coming at the beginning of an arc cycle. Remember, 1848, right? That's the beginning of the Cosmon era, or the arc of Cosmon. So from that time forward, there has been, and especially at that time at the beginning, right, there was much spirit interaction between man and spirit. It ends up becoming a whole movement called the spiritualist movement. And this is in the mid 1880s. But what's amazing about it is oahspe told you it was going to come first. Watch this. Right? This is the Book of Tay, right? Or the overall words of all good men, right? That's what Tay means, or Ty means, right? Shout out to Susan B. Martinez, who actually taught me how to say the word right. The correct word is Ty, T-A-E, right? T-A-E. This is the Book of Ty, right? 1 and 22, and we're gonna go to 23 real quick. But remember, oahspe is telling you before this happens what's going to happen. And now then we're gonna go look in real time, look back historically, and see if what oahspe say happened then happened. Now the funny part is oahspe is written later. It's the culmination. But at the time, they're telling you before it happens what's going to happen. Watch this. So the angels of heaven descended. This is what they about to say. This is from 1848 to 1881, 33 years, which is what we know is now a generation. 33 has nothing to do with the Masons, right? As a matter of fact, I think they start applying JBN's knowledge to their stuff, twisted it up like they always do, and put their own science to man to it. And now they talk about the 33 vertebrae, or the 33 levels of knowledge and all that stuff. But in fact, it is the key to prophecy. Look, the angel said, so the angels of heaven descended to the earth, to man, and appeared before him face to face. Hundreds of thousands of them all over the world, y'all. Is this true? Is it true? Did it happen? In 1848, did this happen? Right? And look what it said. The angels of heaven came down, spoke to man face to face, like Abraham spoke to his God, like Moses spoke to his God, like Jacob spoke to his God, like Isaac seen his God. Like Stephen, right before he was about to die, he looked up, seen two niggas. He seen one nigga with another nigga on the side of him. Right? Because the God is an angel. Right? Listen, these angels, hundreds of thousands of them coming back to earth, speaking as man speaks. Why would they speak as man speak? Because they're men. Writing as men write. And teaching these things about the creator and his work. See, they be so mystified about JBN when they get to talking about this automatic writing stuff. But this is a common thing. You know, y'all just not spiritual people. As much as you want to talk about and downplay on white folks and they're this and this, that, white, and you're not spiritual yourself. You just as dark as any one of them. So stop pointing the finger, right? They said the angels coming down, they writing as man write, they teaching these things about the creator, they speaking as man speak. Did it happen? And in the 33rd year, so that's 1848. So in the 33rd year, right, of the angels' descent, that's 1881, right? You add 30 years to 33 years to 1848, you get 1881, correct? So in 1881, the 33rd year, angels descent, the ambassadors of the angels host. Is this the Lord of the host? Right? The Lord of the host is just an ambassador. The ambassadors of the angel host of heaven in the name of Creator revealed to man his heavenly kingdoms through what? This oahspe, this book of sky, earth, spirit, making known the plan of his delightful creations for the resurrection of the peoples of the earth. This is what oahspe said it did, right? And again, right here, right? Just so you know we putting it in the right time. Look at what oahspe tells you, right? About this time where the angels come down speaking, man, writing and doing all this stuff, right? This is called the spiritualism movement. Let me show y'all how to do some real research. Let's work, right? Let's get to it. You dig what I'm talking about? No play, no beating around the bush. oahspe is leveling everything. Light bomb, everybody. You get a light bomb. You get a light bomb. You get a light. And we talking about your God. We flying higher than the gods. Dropping light bombs into their heavens. Freeing people with the light, with the knowledge. Y'all gonna get it. Right? But oahspe told you this was gonna happen. These niggas gonna be doing all type of, the angels gonna be doing all type of stuff. Is it true? Let's go see.
That unending joy, which is the gift of.
Now, this may be a little weird in the front, right? Now, this is a woman who is under trance. A spirit is speaking through her, and I forget the name of the spirit. It's one of the great orators. Anyways, right? Notice she has the voice of a man. Right? What did it say? Spiritualism, a system of belief or religious practice based on the supposed communication with the spirits of the dead, especially through mediums. Right? What they say? Once again, right? So the angels of heaven descended to the earth to man, appeared before him face to face, hundreds of thousands of them all over the world, speaking as man speak, writing as man writes, teaching these things about the Creator and his works. Right? This is the spiritualist movement. Right? Let's see, did oahspe tell the truth?
That unending joy, which is the gift of the Spirit. For in the true Spirit shall men see with a clearer vision the true light of eternal life. Amen.
In the midst of the 19th century, spiritualism arose as it never had before. Within months of the first appearances, spiritual seances became a huge trend all over America. Over the years, spiritualism was not only used for entertainment, but also used as a tool to combat the mental effects of the Civil War. It is theorized that the earliest known depiction of ghosts was from 1500 BCE, on a 3,500-year-old Babylonian tablet. After ancient Babylon, the idea of ghosts made its way through ancient China, Mesoamerica.
Did y'all see that? I'll rewind that. Y'all probably didn't catch what he said. Watch this.
BCE.
Watch what this is. He said this is the first known depiction of a ghost. Right? Dig this. Watch this. Share the live out. Thumb up the video. Support the channel.
It is theorized that the earliest known depiction of ghosts was from 1500 BCE on a 3,500-year-old Babylonian tablet. After ancient Babylon, the idea of ghosts made its way through ancient China, Mesoamerica, India, Greece, Rome, and eventually 1800s America. The 19th century was a time of immense change and growth in technology. The steam engine and the telephone were both big inventions of the time. In March of 1848, the Fox sisters moved to Hyattsville, New York.
Now oahspe goes and tells us that they allowed this to happen first. So will nobody get confused about when the spiritualist movement started. This happened March 31st, right? 1848, the beginning of the year of 1848. Y'all think it's just a coincidence that starts the Cosmon era, right? And also, let me give you a little game on these sisters too. That y'all think that it's just a coincidence. oahspe say it starts the Cosmon era. That's the start of the Cosmon era. It tell you that they was going to have all these spirits interacting with men all over the world. It happens all over the world. Starts a whole spiritualist movement. Then it says the culmination of this stuff in 33 years exactly will be oahspe. Let me give you a little game about these sisters. They start hearing rappings in March 31st, 1848. Come to find out, though, the people her parents had bought the house from, they were already having experiences with ghosts even before then. Anyways, right? They get to interacting with this ghost. Come to find out, years later in 1906 or 1903, they do a seance at this house, right? Because the sisters that came out said it was a fake, and then they came back and said they wasn't faking, and they was just beefing with each other, and so it threw off their whole little thing. And you dig what I'm talking about? The spirituality movement start dying from then, huh? How? If you were supposed to be the people with the light, I'm gonna show y'all that they say that they supposed to be the people with the light, but it end up being y'all. It end up being the created game. The last became first. Okay, so anyways, let me give you a game on these sisters. They did have spirit interaction. The spirit told them, my body, dude who was here before y'all even moved in the house killed me in the basement, and he hid me right in the center of the floor of the basement. Well, when they go down there and they dig up the center of the floor, right, his body ain't there. But the spirit keep telling them, I am down there, right? So dog get a little, he tap into the wall and shit, find out it's a whole fake wall back there in another room, and this nigga is stuck in between the wall. They find the body. They know the man name. I got it. I got the whole little thing. It's an Italian guy. He ended up getting killed, put in the wall. They found his body. Once they found his body and buried him and all that, the spirit interaction stopped happening. His spirit couldn't rest, right? Spirit couldn't rest. So that's just a little interaction with oahspe and what's going on at this time. Now, mind you, this 33 years before oahspe is even transcribed. It don't come out to 1882, but it get written in 1881, right on time when it's supposed to. Watch this.
After living in Ontario for their childhoods, Leah, Catherine, and Margaret Fox were the daughters of John and Margaret Fox. In the home of the Fox sisters, a spiritual phenomenon began to occur. The sisters first claimed to have heard knockings in their house. They claimed that these sounds were spirits trying to communicate with them. So they communicated back. The sisters told everyone that they could talk to spirits through knocking, and eventually started hosting paid seances. Prices for these seances varied depending on location of seance and the amount of people attending them. Spiritualism changed the entertainment industry for a while. Seances were a very popular and main source of entertainment because of the spiritualist movement, which was a drastic uprising in spiritualism in 19th century America. The Banner of Light was a weekly newspaper sharing real summarized seances to people all over America. This journal lasted from 1857 to 1907. In seances held by mediums like the Fox sisters, Ouija boards and other spirit communication devices like spirit trumpets, which were said to have magnified the sounds of spirit whispers, were very popular. Seances had a large impact on lots of people from the 19th century, like the author of the Sherlock Holmes books, and even the Lincoln family, who held seances in
Crazy. Oahspe break all this down too. Tell you who came and spoke to Lincoln, what they said. Because remember, Lincoln was dead set against not freeing the slaves. What made him change his mind? That's only in Oahspe.
in the Red Room of the White House. These relations show just how many connections spiritualism made and how popular it was. Combined with the Fox sisters and other claimed mediums, the Civil War had a large...
Now, I want y'all to understand. During this time, right? This whole spiritualist medium stuff, everybody know. JBN is a medium and been one since he was a child. This is known. As a matter of fact, JBN is one of the niggas who used to go around and check and see if you was faking. Right? Hold on one second, y'all. My bad, y'all. Had to get right back. Let me get right back to it.
part in starting and continuing the spiritualist movement through the 19th century. The large amount of death that came from the war called for some sort of coping for the families of soldiers that had passed. Because most of the deaths from the Civil War took place...
And let me tell y'all, spiritualism and mediumship become real big. JBN is a rock star, y'all. He a rock star. How are these even lesser known people, right? They got real pictures of these people doing stuff with other people. They got real pictures, not just drawings, not just lithographs and all that stuff, but actual real pictures with real cameras, right? Cameras that have been out since 1806. You dig what I'm talking about? And have been on the market since 1826. So this is how you get pictures of Civil War, all that's going on. This is how you get pictures of dudes like Albert Pike and all these people during this time, all these presidents. You got pictures of these people. And this dude who is a rock star, right, at the time, y'all don't got one picture of this nigga? Oh, y'all thought that little picture of the white guy that they showed of JBN was a real picture? It's not a picture. It's a lithogram. And there ain't no pictures of this nigga with his family, with his kids, with it doing nothing. He was a multimillionaire twice. He hit it rich in the gold fields twice. One of the most fantastic men of the 18th century, and you don't have not one real picture of him? I call BS. I'm calling BS. This seemed like that system of iconoclasm hitting again. And I'm telling y'all, I don't know this for a fact. I'm not saying I know this for a fact. But boy, this is giving off whitewashing. Ooh, this stank of whitewash. What if JBN is a nigga? Ooh. Ooh. You ain't got no picture of one of the most famous men in America? Not one?
On the battlefields, families of the lost never got a chance to say goodbye.
Huh? Look, this is leading all up to that, y'all. Ain't even no oahspe yet. But oahspe told you what was gonna happen. And look what we have. Look what we got happening. Check it out.
Mediums in the US had a solution to this problem. They offered seances for families. They claimed they could help contact lost soldiers. Some mediums charged for their services, while others did it with priority to help people. Years after the Fox sisters' claims to fame, Leah Fox had Catherine Fox's children taken away as protest for her two sisters' dangerous drinking habits. Reasonably, Catherine and Margaret Fox did not take this lightly. As revenge, and probably for other reasons, on October 21st, 1888, Margaret Fox took the stage and confessed to faking the entirety of her and her sister's mediumship. There had never been any spirits. Despite the fakery, it's important to see that no matter the intention of past mediums, they created hope for grieving people that their loved ones were not fully gone, during and after the Civil War. At the beginning of the 20th century, the spiritualist movement settled as more scientific belief systems were brought up and the interest in movies as entertainment pushed seances to the side. The wave of interest for spiritualism fluctuated throughout the years and will continue to. From the year 1900 to 1960, spiritualism
My bad, y'all. My bad, I was cooking. But just like Sheila is saying, if this man could have bought and afforded a typewriter at the time, which cost well over $1,000, and basically how you do the money is, y'all, for every dollar then is 26 now, right? First of all, this man already hit it rich for $250,000 in gold in California by 1850. He had already struck it rich. So you do 250,000 times 26. It start to make a little sense. JBN wasn't no broke nigga. He obviously had a camera. If he had a typewriter. And the crazy part is, I'm going to show y'all that this whole automatic writing thing, this seance writing, this wasn't even new. This wasn't even new. They had been doing this. Remember, oahspe don't come out till 33 years after all this start. But we're going to find out it's the culmination of something. And even these, the spiritualist is going to tell you, this is building up to a time. And once they start saying that, they're going to tell you, oh, it's 15 years away from it. It's 14 years away from it. Well, 14 years away from 1881 is what? 1867. Were they doing this in 1867? I'm going to show you everything. I'm telling you, they don't know to hide this. They don't know it's truth. So they just write it in the book and think it don't have no part to play, is not significant. And while you proving the creator, not even knowing it, proving the works of creator are true, and that the book itself is a power. And then the dope part is it say it ain't immaculate. Jeez. This is different. It's different, y'all. Let's get into this spiritualist movement. I just wanted y'all to get what was going on at the time. oahspe said this spirit stuff was going to happen. Boom, here it is. At the same time, it say it's going to happen.
Quite a lot. Today's spiritualism is considered the new age of spirituality. It leads from 1970 to today, where there is evidence that 7 out of 10 US adults claim to be spiritual in some way. New Age spirituality involves practices of astrology, meditation, tarot cards, and mediumship. A standout figure in the New Age of spiritualism was Uri Del Harris, who portrayed a character named Miss Cleo in commercials selling tarot.
Holy me now!
If you've never had a reading from a real psychic, try us right now for free. Your father had a stroke at a young age, did he not?
Right.
Did you get strep throat a great deal in your late teen years?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Along with Miss Cleo, New Age spiritualists share their beliefs and spiritual journeys on social media platforms like YouTube and TikTok. Now, seances and spiritualism are a popular theme in scary movies. Examples like the 2020 film Host, a spiritual horror movie filmed solely on Zoom, show how flexible the seance subgenre is, even when it may become a bit bizarre or comedic.
I've never done this over Zoom. Obviously, we're not physically together, but there's no reason why spirit can't communicate over the internet.
The Ouija board is still used quite a lot, and there have been multiple horror movies featuring them. Though not focusing on Ouija boards, The Conjuring 2, which features one, is the 12th highest grossing horror movie ever made.
Conjuring was doggish.
$320 million. The spiritualist movement of the 19th century was believed to have had over 8 million followers. This amount of interest had never been seen in America prior. The spiritualist movement represents how we often find new coping mechanisms to deal with tragic happenings. When soldiers had died in the Civil War, families used seances to talk to them, or maybe tricked themselves into thinking they did. The spiritualist movement puts a spotlight on how individuals react to new things, like spiritualism. The people who experienced spiritualism seances had different views on them. Some were believers, some were non-believers, and others were skeptics. Spiritualism is a turning point in American ideologies. With it, instead of death being seen as the loss of one's entirety, people believed that their loved ones were not dead, just away.
Did y'all see that?
People believed that their loved ones. With it, instead of death being
Watch
seen
this.
as the
Watch
loss
the
of one's
pictures.
entirety, people believed that their loved ones were not.
These are real pictures. This is what a picture looks like in the mid 1800s. JBN ain't got one of these. Now, they are supposedly having spirit interactions. This dude is being took over by a medium, but look at the faint outline. This is before the time of photoshopping, and you dig what I'm talking about. Even the earliest of photoshops, I ain't gonna say that it didn't come around, but it didn't come around to about 1868, 1870, right? When the very first, what we would know as the ability to twist photos up and change them after the fact start coming on, right? This is before then, right? Look what's in the back. A spirit woman. This is a man. See him in the picture? This look like a child, right? You see what I'm saying? Just showing it. I'm not telling you to believe nothing. But it's so funny that it's there. Why? Well, if this is all fake and made up and phony, why is this even here? Why is oahspe telling you this stuff happened? Then we look back in time and we see it happen. It's called prophecy.
Not dead, just away. No matter if we really can communicate with the dead or not, there's no denying that the idea of afterlife helped and changed many people during and after the Civil War. It brought new hope when it had been lost.
They was using it as a he prefaces it as a way to cope with people dying. But remember, the creator said, so the angels of heaven descended to the earth to man in 1848 to appear to him face to face, hundreds of thousands of them speaking as man speak, writing as man writes, and teaching these things about the creator and his works. But look, in the 33rd year of the angels' descent, the ambassadors of the angels of hosts, is this the Lord of hosts of heaven, right? Well, look, the Lord of hosts, or the ambassador of the angels, just got told what to do. When in the Bible, in the book of Exodus, the Lord of the hosts told he told Moses that he was the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. See the difference? This nigga just got told what to do. The real one. He just got told what to do by the angel ambassadors of God. Right? He got told what to do. He went and did a job. Right? He didn't turn around and tell JBN, he was his God. If anybody want to look at that up, that's Exodus 3. You dig what I'm talking about? That's Exodus 3. The Lord of the host tells Moses he is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and tell him to take his shoes off because the land was holy. Didn't the Lord or the ambassador of the angel host tell him that? We see now for real that the ambassador of the angel host or the Lord of the angel host is just a little homie that gets sent to do stuff. They sent him to the stove to inspire Lincoln. And in the 33rd year of the angel's descent, the ambassadors of the angel hosts of heaven, in the name of the Creator, pronounced today in modern English as Jehovah, revealed to man his heavenly kingdoms. In the 33rd year, right? Cosmos started in 1848. 33rd year. After that is 1881. I asked y'all in the beginning, right? What year is it? Your God said, or I ain't gonna say your God, the biblical God said that he created the moon and the sun for time, seasons, days, and signs, but then failed to turn around and teach you how to do it. Right? I'm asking, what year is it since the creation of upright man? What year is it? I ain't even gonna ask you today. What year is it? What year is it? Come on. Can't tell me Cosmo know more than your God do. You can't tell me the faith is no more than your God do. Your God say the year is 5,785. That's only 3761 BC. They got pyramids in Sumer older than that. You got civilizations in America. Corral Stupe. You dig what I'm talking about? Estrato Supe, all the places. 4,000 BC. How is that possible? If your God didn't make everything to 37, how do we already got an earth and a whole civilization and men already created, doing their thing, building mega structures 300 years before your God created the earth? You make it make sense. You make it make sense. And in the 33rd year, the angels descent, the ambassadors of the angel host of heaven, in the name of the Creator, revealed to man his heavenly kingdoms. Through what? Through oahspe, making known the plan of his delightful creations for the resurrection of the people of the earth. People, the multiple. Peace, Apollo Bay. Shout out to the gang, man. Shout out for everybody, man, coming through. You dig what I'm talking about. We just building on this. I want to show y'all some stuff real quick because there ain't no way this happened, right? If oahspe is just this, mind you, this child's book, kids, a fairy tale or a Dr. Seuss book. First of all, why is this Dr. Seuss book whooping your God ass? Why your God can't whoop this Dr. Seuss book? Since the gang been out, we about what? 5 years and old? We've been taking whooping feet. Keeping our foot on your God neck. Islam, Christianity, Buddhism, Brahmanism, Judaism, which is still Christianity's, just another willing dupes to the false god Luamang, yeah, the Christ, yeah. What do Lucifer mean, y'all? Lucifer mean the light bringer, right? The light bearer, right? Remember the God in Revelation 19, he got a name that don't nobody know. He got a name across his thigh that don't nobody know. I'm telling you, it's some niggas who do know now. And that name is Luamang. But what y'all got to understand is Luamang means the light bearer, just like Lucifer. Luamang, Lucifer, the light bearer, the light bringer. Come on, man. I asked y'all what year it was. What year is it? Remember, this ain't no guesswork. We ain't mollycoddling. We ain't gum bumping. Straight to it. Right here. I told y'all, I gave you everything you needed to know. The year is 2025. Cosmon era started in 1848. That's 177 years. So we are 177 years into the Cosmon era, or the year 70. Hold on. Or the year 72,177. In the year 72,177, we are 177 years past the halfway point of the optimal time for man to be on the planet. That is your 144,000. They're not men, they're years. The 144,000 is the optimal time for man to exist on the planet. Where 177 years past half. So anybody asks you again, what year is it? You tell them 72,177 since the creation of upright man. Upright talking man. Or just to be simple, we in the year 177 of the Cosmon era. 2025. Can your God do that? Jive turkey. Can your God do that? Can he use the moon and the sun just like I did? Here you go. I ain't making it up. When you get the moon and the sun, and you know how to do it, look, I'm all the way back to when plants was created. I'm way back here. And they tell you that this is hundreds of millions of years ago. I'm telling you, at tops, it's 120. And most of the stuff happened, 96,000 years ago. Remember in the Kali Yuga, right? In the Kali Yuga, what is the date of the Kali Yuga? How many years does it take to create a yuga, or to finish out a yuga? 432,000 years. Right? 432,000 years. If you add 144,000 to that, you get 576,000 years, which is the number of a house. We are in the seventh one, right? We are in the seventh great house. right? In the optimal time for man to exist, in the 144,000 years of the seventh great 576,000 year loop, right? And we've done that great loop, that 4.8 million year loop. We've done that thing 23 times. We're going now to complete the 24th loop. 23rd loop, excuse me. It's only 8 parts in the term, right? We are in the 7th of 8th. Huh? This is what they missing in the Kali, the 144,000 years that man has existed. Not just the time where the earth replenishes itself, rebirths, and all that, But what about when man is on it? They don't take that into account. And when you can't use the sun and you can't use the moon, then you can't tell time. How did man tell time before there was a calendar? The sun. How did man generate his year? When the plants, crops, all that. How did he know? When animals was going to rut and where to be at certain times of the year to get the best deer or whatever. When to plant the crops. How did he know? By the moon. In America, that's called the turtle count or the terrapin count. Watch this. Let me show y'all this weird little obscure book I found. And then we're going to get up out of here. Right? This book is called 19th Century Miracles. Right? Now, remember, we're talking about what was going on in the 19th century or in the 1800s. Right? We're breaking down what's going on. oahspe told you that these seances was going to happen. These people going to be seeing spirits. All type of stuff was going to be going on. Let's see what firsthand the people are saying. And then let's go see what they say about what's happening in America. Let's go look at the world. Some place, just real quick, couple little spots around the world, right? And then let's go look at what's happening in America specifically. Watch this. Mr. Horn's departure from the East terminated for him the privilege of attending any more of these weird seances. But he found on returning to London that the wonder-working power was more universal than he had deemed. So he just left Constantinople, right? And now he was doing seances. He thought he wasn't going to be able to do it. They doing them in London. Same time they doing them in the United States. Same time they doing them in France. Same time they doing them in Asia. Same time they doing them in India. Same time they doing them in Africa. Why? Because this is happening around the world. This is a pan event. Right? But he found on returning at London that the wonder-working power was more universal than he had deemed. For tables not only turned and kept time to tunes. So tables is turning and dancing in the air. And kept times to tunes in solitary instances, but soon began to dance all over London. Oh, the tables is just getting up, floating and dancing. And that to the clarion notes which heralded in modern spiritualism. The following account furnished by Monsieur A.J. Rico of The Hague. Oh, of The Hague. Of The Hague will give corroborative details of Mr. Horn's narrative of early spiritualism in Turkey, right? Remember, Jaja said this is going to be a worldwide thing. You dig what I'm talking about? In Turkey, at Constantinople, Mr. Repost. Well, let me see if I can blow that up a little bit. At Constantinople, Mr. Repost, a well-known advocate, was for several years a warm spiritualist medium and zealous defender of the faith of spiritualism. Almost sound like faithism. But we're going to see faithism is the culmination. Faithism is not the belief. Faithism is the knowing and the belief objectified in real time. That's understanding the Creator. We know 3 times 3 gonna always be 9. Absolute rules govern this shit, y'all. A well-known advocate and zealous defender of the faith of spiritualism. About, now listen, look where we at. What's the year? 20 years before oahspe. 12 years, 13 years after the spiritualist movement started, correct? If the spiritualist movement started in 1848 and we now in 1861, then it's what? It's been 12, 13 years have passed, correct? So we still in the early stages, right? So in about 1860, 1861, we in Turkey, y'all. We in Turkey. In a whole nother different book, right? Not talking about oahspe. Oahspe ain't came yet. It's 20 years. Listen, 20 years before oahspe even come. But oahspe told you before 1848, before this time, 13 years before this time. oahspe had already told you it was coming. Now, about 1860, 1861, during seances held at his residence, loud rappings, movements, what? Writings. This ain't no JBN. This a nigga in Turkey. In Constantinople, in the city of Constantine. What? That don't even make no sense because oahspe ain't tell you about Constantine yet. 20 years before oahspe spilled the beans on Constantine, we in his city. We in your city. Movements, writings. Oh, were they automatic, Cosmon? What do you think they was? Trance and other communications besides what? Levitations and floating in the air. They got the people floating. Were manifested with remarkable power. 2 young ladies of reposted circles were developed as healing mediums and performed many cures. Listen to this. If they can do it, you can do it. They had a remarkable drawing medium too, who produced life-sized heads without ever having learned drawing. Another composed songs and music under influence. Then they say they was going to write and act, talk like men and women, produce all this stuff. Yes. This is why. Because the spirits of the dead are men. Angels are one-time living, breathing men. That's the key. But here go the trick. The trick is, so is the Lord. So is the God. So is the Lord God. They're all just angels. One-time dead, one-time living, breathing men who are now dead, who during their angelic rank, right? Let's say you graduate through elementary, you gain the title called Lord. You graduate through middle school, you get a title called Lord God. You graduate through high school in the heavens, and you get a title called God. It's a job, y'all, and you must earn it. Creator says, shit. Nigga, till you've created a sun with a firmament, with planets in it, you ain't even half the God you gonna be. Ooh. Huh? If y'all see, oahspe said this, and now we seeing it happening before it happened. Huh? oahspe prophesying hit me with a 2 in the chat. Monsignor P. Valerie was also a staunch spiritualist at Constantinople. At his house, strong spiritual manifestations occurred in 1862. 19 years before oahspe is written, 20 years before it's published. When all sat at a distance from the table in an ordinary lighted room, it answered by raps. Like rap is somebody banging on something. And even by what? The table, they saying they sitting away from the table, but even by lifting itself without contact in view of all the assistants. A certain evening, a visitor from Alexandria who came with a walking stick, seen by several of the witnesses, missed his stick at the close of the sitting. On arrival at his hotel, he found it under his bed covers in the closed room. When he got to bed, he was drawn by the spirits at his request halfway out of the bed. Another evening, the spirits carried off the key of his hotel room from his pocket. On coming home, he was forced to share the room of a friend. After a while, they found the key under the candlestick. And on opening his room, the gentleman found everything out of place. That sounds like a drooge. You dig what I'm talking about? That sounds like some demonic low action. He said, out of place. The bed covers, etc., being thrown in a heap in the middle of the apartment. Other similar pranks were often played by the spirits in this gentleman's presence, making it evident that he was what is now called a strong physical medium. In May 1863, an exposition. Hold on, let me, as a matter of fact, let me throw something behind this real quick. You know what I mean? I want to play a little something on this thing real quick. Hold on, y'all. All right. Let me see. In May 1863, an exposition of pictures was opened at Constantinople. Among other works of art was a picture representing a fine what? Hold on. Representing a fine collection of flowers, which attracted general attention by the following inscription. Mediumistic drawing executed through M. Paul Lombardo of Constantinople, unacquainted with the arts of drawing and painting. It was one of the productions of a medium, then sitting with the circle of M. Repos. Among the pictures exhibited, none was more generally admired or more eagerly purchased. So, what they're saying is not only could you easily wrote a book, they're painting pictures under the inspiration of these angelic beings. So to write a book would be simple. They painting pictures. And one of the best. So I'm wondering if a really high-raised, famous guy came back and painted a picture through one of them. I'm just saying. Just asking. Because for somebody who had never painted nothing before to be put in one of these museums and the people sitting there like, dang, man, this dude never painted nothing ever before in his life. You know what I mean? You got like real art fans astounded. You know what I mean? So your work had to be spectacular. You know, you dig what I'm saying? It had to be for it to get so much attention in a place. And because you were a novice, you dig what I'm talking about? It had to really be great to pull that much attention. You dig what I'm talking about? So I wish I had to look that up one day and see what the picture is, but they say it's a bunch of flowers. You dig what I'm talking about? That you know, one of them dudes like realism. They like paint stuff that's right in front of them or whatever. So that's what I'm picturing in my mind anyway. Right? But how pretty was they really? You know what I mean? When people see flowers all the time. But these must have had to really, really be nice. Huh. In the capital of the Turkish Empire, like other places, the newspapers were filled with controversies about spiritualism. It's everywhere, y'all. There ain't no place in the world that ain't talking about it. There's no place in the world they're not doing seances. There's no place in the world where mediumship is now. So when the best of the best mediums step out on the scenes, you got dudes like Allan Kardec in there. JBN was the Allan Kardec of America. Everybody knew JBN was the real deal. Everybody knew. JBN would have had the equivalent notoriety of a Harry Houdini. This ain't no obscure little guy that nobody knows of, and they just think he some weird little dude somewhere. Nah, this nigga was respected in them circles because he was one of the dudes who was catching all the fakes. You dig what I'm talking about? Y'all gotta remember, JBN didn't believe this because he knew spirit was real, so he knew a lot of niggas was faking. But he knew a lot of people was actually, actually having real encounters, right? But the difference is JBN wanted something higher than what he was getting, right? He was assured that, you know, a lot of what they were saying, you know what I mean, obviously didn't come from the people themselves, but he knew that the conversation, or he could perceive that the conversation that the angels were talking about were low nothing burgers. And he yearned for a higher life. Huh? They put that boy through a 10-year preparatory test. They tested JBN for 10 years. A lot of people don't know that. They ain't just pop up on this nigga and he was just, oh, you're that guy. No, they made him work. Dig what I'm talking about? Change his whole life. You dig what I'm talking about? Before he was able to write a word of oahspe or was able to be written through him. He had to be in a position to even receive the information. Right? For instance, right? If you got the old rabbit ear TV, don't matter how good that TV is, right? That old floor model, don't matter how good it is, it ain't gonna never receive this HD TV signal, right? Why? Because it's not equipped, it's not prepared to receive the message. So just like you had to upgrade from regular cable to the HD to this new stuff to all this stuff now to be able to get the message, huh? Same thing they had to prep him up to. Watch this, y'all. In March 1864, the Constantinople Journal opened its columns for the defenders and protest sign. The spiritualists of Constantinople appeared against unworthy attacks. In the London Spiritual Magazine of 1861, there is another brief sketch of spiritualism in Turkey from the pen of the gentleman named by Enrico, as it is pertinent to the same seances mentioned above. We shall give it in Enrico's own words. He says, let me drop down. He says, hold on. Dang, tripping. Hold on. And my thing is acting crazy. Okay. Constantinople, May 1st, 1861. Our experiments become daily more interesting. We hold several seances weekly, sometimes at one's house, sometimes at another's. Every day, new believers are made. Every day, new believers are made. Tables rise into the air, and the spirits begin to raise persons in the air. Our most remarkable mediums are two young ladies whom the spirit magnetized directly, and through them they play the piano, duet sometimes, the music being of wonderful harmony. Then we have trances, visions, and self-magnetizations. The subject, I think that means self-transmits, but the subjects themselves knowing nothing of the magnetic science. We cannot make known the subject so much as we would, for these young ladies are in a profession which brings them under the influence of the clergy, and the priests among us, as elsewhere, are inimical to spiritualism. I don't know what inimical means. I don't think that means good. Some of us from table mediums have become what? Writing mediums. So this is 20 years before JBN did it, right? First of all, it happened to Daniel and Nebuchadnezzar in the Bible. A whole just spirit hand came out of wall without a man. Just the spirit just start writing. So we shouldn't even be amazed that the spirit can write through a man. Especially when these people who don't even believe in it, they getting spirit writings. You think they knew to lie about this in 1861? Why would they? And then why is they lying there? If they lying, why oahspe coinciding it? How will oahspe even know? I didn't even know. I'm just saying, this ain't no real miracle or nothing like that. You dig what I'm saying? This stuff is readily known. Automatic writing has been going on forever, right? They just mad that a white boy did it and did it better than they God homeboy did. Did it better than the fake Moses. Did it better than the fake Abraham, right? Fake Buddha, fake Muhammad. You dig what I'm talking about? The white boy. So I can't even say that no more. We don't know if he a white boy. Let's just be real. We don't know. Huh? All the rest of the prophets was niggas. Now we see that there are white boys who speak the spirits all the time. But we see what happened to them. What happened to John Smith? What happened to Swedenborg? What happened to John D? Them boys had them experiences. Don't y'all fake on them. But we see that they God led them astray. Every one of the LDS Latter-day Saints, Mormons, every one of these so-called prophecies have failed. Not one never has came true. Ever. They try to backdate them in time and all that stuff. He said something like this, kind of like this back then. No, nigga. Nope. See, now that we know prophecy ain't guesswork, you got to be telling it. On this day, this year, this gonna happen, this gonna happen, this gonna happen. But what you don't know is that's personal. I can only tell it from my prophetic view. Well, this brings into question when Jesus is telling the prophecy of God to John. It's God's prophecy. Why is he dying off then? Why is what he got going on? There are 4 horsemen heralding his fall of his world. Remember, prophecy is personal. It absolute rules running. Right? And yet, since the simple fact of if you not doing this right, prophesying right, first of all, there's 2 ways to do it. Did y'all know that? Yep, there's 2 ways to prophesy. One of y'all mistakenly call it instinct or conscience or what's the new word they got? Oh, we're moving with the vibe. Yeah. No, that's that the Creator's hand is directly upon you, moving you like a bird does. Nobody teaches a bird how to build a nest or fly. Nobody teaches a dog that he loves bones and hates cats. His inspiration is already done. Huh? Y'all call that instinct. It's actually the presence of the Creator moving upon that animal, moving upon that. So man can tap into that naturally like that and feel the vibes just like the animals do. This is how they know to run before the earthquake comes. Who told them? Who tell a bird when it's time to fly south? Huh? The ability for man to do that is called prophecy. That's a harder way to do it, but you did what I'm talking about. You can prophesy using light and dark and the arachno. You dig what I'm saying? But he says, some of us from table mediums have become writing mediums like JBN did. And I am one of these. He one of these niggas. This is repost. And under spiritual influence, I play music. I being ignorant of even the notes in my ordinary state. I enclose you a piece of recently composed through me, the Spirit's call called The Air, the Song of Eternal Love. Interesting. All right. I want to get down here real quick. And then we're going to get up out of here, y'all. We ain't going to even keep you long. All right. I think I done made my point. Right? I think I done made my point. You dig what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I think I done made my point. I gotta get a new mouse. My mouse is tripping. All right, let's get to this right here. Spiritualism in America, a retrospective. It is now about 20 years since the author of these pages received a series of communications. 20 years. Right? So we know that them communications started in 1847, 1848. Let's make sure that's true. Right? Let's keep reading. Charging upon her to collect from every available source. Why would the angel need you to collect anything? See? You see? The spiritualism for a compendious and authentic work on the history of modern spiritualism. Why would you need that? It ain't but 20 years old. Preliminary sketches of what that work was to be were given from time to time, but it was not until the year 1867. 20 years later, right? 20 years since the author of these pages received a communications. That'll be about 1868, 1867. Y'all follow me? Take note of the time. It was not until the year 1867 that the intention was declared of giving to the world what? A record of the first 20 years of spiritual movement as it been transpired in America. To the author's objection, oh man, ain't tripping. Dang, this thing's tripping. Okay. To the author's objection that such a record might seem premature and imply the completion of a history still in progress. Remember, it's not till the 33rd year that the actual real history of the heavens get released, right? But she's saying on the 20th year, right, that she began to want to collect this stuff. Now watch this. To the author's objection that such a record might seem premature and implied the completion of a history still in progress. The communicating spirits answer by urging many reasons for the adoptions of their plans, not the creators. Notice that amongst these reasons, they allege that the first 20 years of spiritualism in America would complete a special cycle in the movement. What special cycle in this movement, or this releasing of this understanding and this light, is relegated in the 20s? Anybody know? Anybody know? This special cycle, right? That the first 20 years of the spiritualism in America would complete a special sort of cycle in the 20s. Anybody know what that cycle is called? It's called an ode. ODE. It's an 11-year cycle, right? And regulates the sun, and the sun is regulated by it. This is why every 11 years you have sun flares. Okay, anyways, like we're having right now. Anyways, right? When you add ode is 1/3 of 33. 33 is a generation. So 1/3 of a generation is 11 years. Funny, hip-hop changed every 11 years too. Right? But anyways, remember, it's supposed to start in 1848. Right? Okay. So if you add 2 11 or odic cycles together, you get 22 years, which will lead us right to 1870. Right? The next year, they went and hollered at JBN. 70, 71, they hollered at JBN. No, in 1970, they came and talked to JBN. Right? 1970, they came and talked to JBN. The angelic host. They put him on a 10-year preparatory plan. Because in that 11th year, he wrote oahspe, 1881. Y'all see how it worked now? They talking about a movement that the angels is giving them inspiration to, but the angels is off. Watch this. It's not their fault. During this period, it was said that the work of spiritualists, during this period, y'all, it is said that the work of the spiritualists would be to conduct a stern and unyielding warfare against the world. Conduct a stern and unyielding warfare against the world without, to revolutionize old ideas, uproot stereotyped errors, and to do battle with priestcraft and schoolcraft, ignorance, and bigotry. Now, we know for a fact the spiritualist movement didn't do this. It didn't revolutionize old ideas. It came with the same Christian ones. They still praise Jesus. It didn't uproot any stereotyped errors. Many of these people still upheld slavery and bigotry and all that stuff. Ignorance. When they talk about this right here, schoolcraft, that's indoctrination in a school. And this is indoctrination, priestcraft in a seminary or church. Now, it's saying that it was going to end ignorance and bigotry with this book, right? With this text, right? Now I want to let them tell you what year the text is gonna come out. I'm gonna let them tell you. Remember, it's 1867, right? I'm gonna let them tell you when they supposed text supposed to come out. That they gonna do all this banging and changing the world, and the stereotypes is gonna change, niggas. Man, y'all don't even know a spiritualist. You ain't never met one in your life, ain't never heard of them. You ain't know nothing about them. But you sure know these faithists. Watch this. Watch this. And at the close of that epoch, what they're calling an epoch is a generation, 33 years. The angel told him, it was asserted, that during the ensuing, 15 years, many marked changes of discouraging character would overshadow the cause, but that these would proceed chiefly from within, rather than from without the ranks. The worst foes of spiritualism would be those of its own household. Facts. It failed and folded on its own. So where is your book of power that is overturning racism, schoolcraft, bigotry, ignorance, that is going to come 15 years after 1867? Ain't that what it said? That during these ensuing 15 years. So it's going to be 15 years in between 1867 when they talking and 1882 whenever this literature come out. Hold on. Watch this. What year was the Bible of oahspe written? Hold on. Watch this. oahspe. Huh? You think it's a gang? You think a plan? What year was the Bible of oahspe written? 1882. You think it's just a coincidence that these people got told by a spirit that in 15 years, right, that they worst foes was going in spiritualism was going to be inside their own house. Faithism come up out of this, and they still stuck right now today, with the schoolcraft, with the same old stereotyped ideas, with the same old ignorance and bigotry. While the gang over here dropping light bombs from the stratosphere, telling people about the ever-present creator. You ain't do no war. First of all, the creator is against war, but there's a type of warfare, a spiritual warfare, that you ain't got to kill nobody. When your light is so high, when your light's so bright, the dark ones can't fight you. They can't be around you. They just flee. Ain't no war. Do the creator got weapons? Yup. You want me to tell you one of the baddest weapons creator got? Shame. Woo! Shame, put some shame on your... Woo! Yeah. A nigga hold that mirror up to you. Ooh! It'll make you do some things. So in 15 years, after 1867, right? We was gonna put this book together of this time, and it was gonna revolutionize old ideas. They ain't got no book did that. oahspe did that. oahspe is uprooting stereotypes and errors. Oahspe is doing battle with the priesthood. Oahspe is killing all the ideologies and belief, and indoctrinations in our schools. Oahspe and the creator himself, the source of all intelligence and knowledge, is overturning ignorance and bigotry. And at the close of that epoch, at the close of it, 1881, it was asserted that during the ensuing 15 years, from 1867 to 1852 or 1882, when oahspe was written, right, the many changes of a discouraging character would overshadow the cause, but that these would proceed chiefly from within rather than from without the ranks. The worst foes of spiritualism would be those of its own household, and I'm talking about the Fox sisters. Yeah. Remember, they came and shot themselves in the foot, said, "Oh, it's all fake. We made it up." Remember, this 25, 26, 27 plus years before it even happened. Still, another 15 years would be required, said the guys. What book came out in 1882, changing stereotypes, overturning old ideas, told you niggas the moon was in our atmosphere? Told you Göbekli Tepe was there and what year it got buried. Told you why you got them pyramids and what they do and how you build them. They can hate on oahspe all you want to. You can hate on your creator all you want to, sucker. But you can't whoop him. And you can't whoop his son neither. Anybody, I'm open for all smoke. Can't whoop his son neither. You can't whoop gang. You know what we gonna do? Jump you. You ain't got that covered over here. Hit you over your head with a light bomb, a lightsaber. Bing. You dig what I'm talking about? But we ain't gonna keep it long, because I think we done already proved our point. Right? Why oahspe? Right? Right? We gonna get out of this real quick. Hold on. Let me drop down just a little bit. Still another 15 years will be required. During that period, the phenomenon of spirit communication communion would be silently yet surely wrested from the hand of the spoiler. See, the thing is, they thought the spoiler was somebody else. No, the spoiler was the spiritualist movement. It got wrested from your hands and given to the faithists. Because what happened in the 33rd year? What happened at the end of that quote unquote epoch? What happened? What happened? And in the 33rd year, the angels descent. And in the 33rd year that they came down to earth, 1881, the ambassadors of the angel host of heaven in the name of the creator revealed to man that is heavenly kingdom through this oahspe, making known the plan of his delightful grace for the resurrection of the people earth. But watch this. This the dope part about oahspe. Watch this, y'all. What is oahspe for? What was the whole point? Right? What was the whole point? that the angels was trying to tell you that they was trying to do? What? It would still take what? Another 15 years would be required, said, before the first principles of a true science could be evolved. And during that period, the phenomenon of spirit communion would be silently wrested from the hands of the spoiler, them, and its religious teachings be rescued from the vagaries of speculative theorists like the spiritualists in order to ground it on the rock of immutable and well-proven truth. What do oahspe say? Axioms, facts, figures. This proves light. This goes to show light. And without these, then the supposed opinion is just darkness and subjective. So who brought the real light? Because look, not immaculate. What does immaculate mean? Perfect, not flawless, not infallible, not flawless, not perfect. Is this book oahspe? Or what? But what is it for? To teach mortals, you, me, us, how to hear the voice of the Creator. Hey, if you want to hear the voice of the Creator, hit me with a 3 in the chat. If you want to hear the voice of the Creator, if you have been hearing the voice of the Creator, hit me with a 3 in the chat. Trust me, the higher light is not with the majority. The majority has, is, and will always be the lesser light. Give glory to the Creator that you hear even getting any of this. You know how far ahead of the game you are? I gotta reiterate this every time, because everything I'm saying can be applied in real life now. At least you know what year it is. If that spirituality, that religion, whatever, if it's not benefiting you now, I mean right now. If it didn't tell you about C-19, it ain't tell you about inoculations, it didn't warn you what to do, how to handle the government, it didn't give you a out, You know, we didn't take those jizz and isms. We ain't take the jizz and ism. We ain't take the jizz now. Faith didn't even get sick. Shout out to Selah Shalom, man. Y'all go get them bitter herbs right there. Y'all also support my brother Malachi Maccabee over there at Honor and Humility STL. Y'all hit up the Facebook and YouTube page, Daryl Cosmon, and y'all go over there to Selah Shilly. Hit up Selah Shilly, and then of course Mr. Cosmonian himself, the cloud kicker, Anakwakaiki. The cloud kicker himself. You dig what I'm saying? Shout out to the 4 horsemen, man. Crazy part about it is when the 4 horsemen rolled up, it was like a signal for the fall of all religious ideology. We've been stomping on the God's neck ever since I done had my little chest poked. since I found out that I knew about the Creator, that my father wasn't no punk nigga blaming evil on a snake. No, nigga, I made good and I made evil. I don't do none of it. I just don't do it. I made it for y'all to experience. If you do what I'm doing, you ain't got to worry about no evil. You ain't killing nothing. You ain't cursing nothing. You ain't got to worry about that. You ain't eating no ham sandwiches. You ain't got to worry about that. You ain't eating on the butt of a cow. Huh? You're munching on his tail. Seasoned up properly. You're eating the tail where the doo-doo come right there. You're eating that. Let me just spoil y'all. Do y'all know they raise kangaroos in the South? Y'all be thinking them oxtails, they're really kangaroo tails. Womp, 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 womp. Yep. Go look. Just a couple weeks ago, they had a kangaroo that got out of one of the pens and was running around in Mississippi. Go look it up. Running down the freeway, just kangaroo in the middle of Mississippi. Think I'm making it up? They're gonna be like, Cosman, no. You see me? How do you killed it? You killed it. You killed the jerk for me, Cosmon. You killed it. Stop eating on that meat. You know, felonious meat munching. A lot of y'all do that anyway for free. So I get it. You dig what I'm talking about? Y'all some felonious meat munchers. You dig what I'm talking about? You dig what I'm talking about? I ain't talking about no sandwich neither. And yet you felonious meat munching. You dig what I'm talking about? Better support the gang right on to the real. You dig what I'm talking about? Fakers gonna fly away. Fly pelican. You dig what I'm talking about? So, hey, that being said, look at that. Look at that. I see some threes in the chat. Voice of the Creator. Huh? Anybody been listening to their conscience lately? Huh? They say in times of darkness, men call the voice of the Creator their conscience. Huh? Conscience been eating at you? That's because you ain't learned that that's the voice of your Creator. You'll be all right. Because the whole point, all you got to do is read the book. Why? Because the whole point is to teach you how to hear the Creator's voice and to see his heavens in full consciousness, not no sleep, not no astral travel, not no spooky prayer, not no meditation, not off no drugs, not no you ain't got to do none of that. I'm talking about driving down the street. I'm talking about smoking blunt. I'm talking about cutting the lawn. Everyday stuff. You're going to be able to see the heavens. Uh-oh. Well, what are you talking about then, Cosmine? If that's possible, what are you saying? Well, I'm saying the visible spectrum is going to raise up. And you're going to be able to see lower than 350 and higher than 700. Yeah. All the things in the infrared you're going to be starting to see. Why? Because a higher etheric light is coming onto the planet and it's going to press the lower light spectrum towards the ground. So you're going to get the red, the X-ray, right? And be able to see these low demonic spirits. That's what you got coming. That's what you don't know nothing about. That's a Dan. That's a harvest time. When the next harvest time? Anybody know? We had one 50 years ago. They call them Jubilees in the Catholic Church. But we had one 50 years before that. And we had one 50 years before that. And guess what? If they come every 200 years as semi-dans and 400 years as times and half times, and I just told y'all We in the year 177. How many more years do we got to get to 200? If we in the year 177, how many more years do we got to get to 200? A harvest time, a semi-dan, a time of high etheric light is allowed to come to the earth for a little bit of time. But see, in Cosmon, at that time, it don't ever cut off no more. And from that time forward, the light just go up and up and up and up and up for 400 years. It's going to be 600 straight years of just rising up. Look at the industrial era. Didn't we get the industrial era 177 years ago? Y'all think I'd just be making this shit up out of my head? No. I've been studied. I've been learned. I've been wrong. What I'm finding out is that now that I'm getting a little knowledge, I don't know shit. Every time I learn something or I think I know something, it's 3 more doors on just that knowledge, and then addressing just one of the 3 doors open up 3 more doors. So, bro, you find out you don't know nothing. You don't know nothing. You better try to get every bit of little piece of scrap of yay and nay on this little dusty little piece of rock. You better try to get every piece of knowledge you can. Because they said, for sure when your ass die. For sure when you die. Nigga, not that it might happen. It will happen. That a nigga gonna try to come to dupe you. Oh, I'm Jesus. Oh, yes. Come to me, little nigga baby. Yes, I am your God, Yahweh. Give me my sweet savor, or you'll go to hell, nigga. Come on, man. Come on. I see somebody catching on. I see Global Purpose in the chat. Global Purpose got his hat on, his thinking hat on this morning. Huh? Somebody got their thinking hat on. Right? Anybody ever asked y'all, what year is it? 72,177 since niggas stood up and said, yay, yay. Huh? Since the first nigga wrote a splipper-ting. You did what I'm talking about? 73,000 years ago, he wrote a splippington. You dig what I'm talking about? Since that day, they've been counting moons, nigga. Huh? They've been counting moons. This why oahspe. Huh? Because it's the baddest mama jamma in the world. Hold on. Watch this. Hold on. Hold on, what's that? But look what the oahspe say about us. Look what oahspe say about us. Look what oahspe say about you. They talk about you, but look what Jaja say about you. Search for the evidence of my footsteps on the earth. Find the people who stand by the Creator. Find the people who stand by the Creator. Gang. Peace to the gods. Peace to the gods and the Nirvanian goddesses. It's an acronym. This is why we say gang. Gods and Nirvanian goddesses. Goddesses and Nirvanian gods. Gang. Search for the gang. Them niggas who gonna stand by the Creator. You can't trick them. The All One. The God of God. God's God. Look for them niggas that's standing by him. How you gonna know it's them? Because you gonna test them, they gonna be trash. Look what it say about them. Who can shake their faith or feed them? With your story of a savior born of a woman. Boy, could you try to, you think them niggas could sell me on the story of Jeebus? Knowing what I know now? You think that there's a Christian, a God? Nigga, you think Jaja must gonna come back. This is what you gotta think that you think he gonna fool Cosmon. What? With that pitiful story? This nigga dying weekly on a tree? Didn't y'all know that if a prophet dies on a tree, that proves he's false? It's called the Uksa, or aka the Juggernaut. What's unstoppable is that this nigga gonna die if he fake. Jesus died on him. Heard that story. Real Yeshua was stoned to death. Who could shake Cosmon's faith with a story of a weak Jesus? Getting hit from the back by a spirit and getting pregnant. Nigga! Listen to the voice of the millions of Chinese. What voice? A million of Chinese niggas. Ain't no voice. And the millions of India. No voice in India. Ain't nobody talking oahspe in India. They not. But who? Listen to the voice of the millions or the remnants of the Algonquins. Where are the Algonquins? They in America. Guess what? It's only 4 niggas that stand on this doctrine. Every day. Going hard for the game. It's only 4 in the world, and they're all from America. Guess what oahspe say they is? Big Indian. Big Chief. We the only ones in the world doing this. Only ones in the world. 4 niggas. Guess what? The nigga is the Indian. How we know? Because it's only 4 niggas in the world who bringing this out. And they say they coming out of America and they call Algonquins. Shout out Daryl Cosmon. Shout out Malachi Maccabee. Shout out my dog Sela Shilly. Shout out Sela Shalom. And yours truly. Anakwakaiki. Big cloud kicker. What it say about you, gang? How you know this you, Cosmon? How you know you the Algonquin? Cosmon? Oh, besides it, it's only 4 niggas in the world, and then it say in the ones in America, and the ones in China, and the ones in India, and we only hear a voice coming out of America, and it say the doom coming with that voice out of America. It's the remnant of the real nigga from America. Big cloud kicker. Kicking all the pie out the sky. The nigga is the Indian. And how you know it's you, Cosmon? You know it's the gang, Cosmon. Besides the fact that y'all the only niggas in the world standing with the Creator. No God, no Lord, no Savior, no none of that shit. We don't want none of your weak God. We don't serve no God. I'm God. We serve the God maker. It's the remnants of the Algonquins today. It's only 4 of us. How you know it's you though, Cosmon? Besides the fact that I'm standing by the Creator. Look for my evidence on Cosmon Cal TV. Who's standing with the Creator? The All One. Who could share? How you know it's you, Cosmon? You can't sell me on no Jeebus, on no Buddha, on no Brahm. But how you physically know it's you, Cosmon? We understand that you say the nigga is the Indian and you them niggas, and here we go, it's only y'all bringing it out. But how you know it's you? Cosmon the only one up here with a Bible that is a power. It's power. Big block, big motor. No stopping, no rest. He said, I am my own rest and unrest. I don't quit. How do you know it's you, Cosmon? Because they can't whoop me. I got the only power. You got the only power. That's Creator, the source, all power. What do you think the triangle stands for? Love, knowledge, power. Or really is love, power, wisdom. That's what it is. That's what a triangle is. That's why it's one of the oldest written signs on anywhere, the triangle. How you know it's you? Because you can't stand against me with this oahspe. I will fold your little ragtag Jewish God up. I done beat the brakes off the Hebrew God. I done whooped Osiris, whoop Set, whoop Amun, whoop them niggas. I whooped Allah, whoop Buddha, whoop Brahma. Boy, I done whooped on John Smith God. Payah. Y'all don't even know who Payah is. He the false Christ of the Latter-day Saints. Whooped him too. Go get your God off the porch so I can whoop him too. Why? My book is a power. You better get some of this 93 oahspe octane. Open up your brain and your heart, nigga. You think spiritual mean being soft? Nah, cuz. That ain't what it is. He raises warriors too. Oh yeah, we fight. Yeah, that's what they don't like. We ain't going down for it. Big Indian. Been fighting. Gonna keep fighting. Nigga, we was indoctrinated. Where were you 10 years ago? Where were you 5 years ago? Where were you 6, 7 years ago? You believed God was a big man in the sky with a thumb and a son with white hair like wool and dark ass skin and a voice like running waters. So don't you dare point a finger, because you was there too. Just reach your hand out. Get them niggas out that muck. Huh? Remember, it's a way to break a hell knot. You got to peel it from the outside. Get your ass over here. And then we pass them back. Yeah. It's a way to do this. I told my dog yesterday in the chat, y'all gonna need the game. You gonna need the game. Either in this world or the next. You're gonna need the game. First of all, we the people standing by the Creator. The All One. You're gonna need the Creator. You better hope it's in this world and not the next. You better hope we not peeling you out of hell not. Cosmon done told you, I ain't gonna mollycoddle with you. Hold your hand and none of that. I got shit to do. I'm going to share this light. I'm going to air it out every time. Whether you catch it now or whether you catch it later, don't matter. You ain't going to never be able to say you didn't hear it. Huh? How you know it's you, though, Cosmon? How you know it's Daryl Cosmon? How you know it's Mally? How you know it's C-Law? Shout out to my dog C-Law, man. He brought this out. He the first one I seen bringing it out on YouTube. A lot of people don't even know I had an experience of how I found oahspe. And it didn't tell me about finding oahspe. It told me to find Mr. Peace, Mr. Selah Shalom. That's what they told me to find. Huh? So a decade later, you think it's just by mistake? Somehow a nigga I ain't never met in the world. We link up out of nowhere and we saying the same exact thing. And then a whole nother nigga from St. Louis and a whole nother nigga from another part of the world in the north. We get together and just by chance, we're the only niggas talking about this shit. And for some reason, we all say the same thing. How? You can't get one. You listen, I can get an Israelite up in here. I can get every camp in here. If I ask them to explain the Bible to me, they're going to give me however many camps there is, it's going to be that many understandings in the Bible. How you get four niggas who ain't never met each other to agree upon some shit they didn't even know was existing? Coming out of nowhere, and we all on the same thing. Out of nowhere. And then we look back and we see that it was other faiths before us who prophesied that we was going to come at the exact time that we came about. You think this is just crazy? You think I just believe these niggas in these books? I don't believe this shit up. I don't give a damn about oahspe. That information better be hitting though. I don't give a damn about you telling me who you is, what you claim. That information better be on point. And boy, when you go into it every time, oahspe blows your mind. Bro, I'm just reading random stuff and they talking about gang. And see, when it's truth, they don't even know what to have. Because many times truth is stranger than fiction. Huh? That's why, oahspe. That's why. Because you ain't got a book that can do that. We just prophesied on everything that happened and brought it all the way up to 2025. I ain't guessed none of that. I didn't guess shit. You make nothing up. I showed you everything I said, and I showed you why I said it. That's a teacher. Huh? I take this shit serious because I know I'm connecting bonds. I'm making bonds. I'm gonna be bound to you niggas for a long fucking time. This is why I don't play with it. This is why I don't play with it. Listen, I would show y'all that Art Allen Kardec, but boy, they will not let me show that Allen Kardec. So I'm gonna have to probably put a doc or something together. You dig what I'm talking about? Hey, listen. If Jah's standing by my side, why should I be afraid? You dig what I'm saying? We enter into this life boldly. You dig what I'm talking about? No fear. You dig what I'm talking about? If I'm going to stand by Jah, guess what's happening? He's standing by me. Guess what? That means I can't lose. Can't lose. Huh? Let's get it.
If Jah is by my side, I won't hide. No, I won't hide. Boom, 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 this a junior. Boom, 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 this a junior. Boom, 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 this a junior. Boom, boom, boom. If Jah is standing by my side, then why should I be afraid of a pestilence that crawleth by night? If Jah is standing by my side, then why should I be afraid of a pestilence that crawleth by night? Your best you try to harm my and I, aiming to kill, but I love you still, cause you are here to make prophecy fulfilled. It's your will. No weapon that form against me, desire shall not be. Divine protection shall set my soul free. Talk to me. Jah is standing by my side, then why should I be afraid of a pestilence that crawleth by night? If Jah is standing by my side, then why should I be afraid of a pestilence that crawleth by night? The gates of hell can never prevail. From I know Jah, he never fail. What you think I'm gonna do? Keep up now? No, not go bow. My foes attack and I just smile. They don't seem to understand my style. My confidence is so high. In a Baba Jah is standing by my side. Then why should I be afraid of a pestilence that crawleth by night? If Jah is standing by my side, then why should I be afraid of a pestilence that crawleth by night? Boom, 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 this a junior. Boom, 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 this a junior. Boom, boom, boom.
Hey, y'all, I just need you to breathe in. Let that light in. Cause I'm Cosmon. I'm out.
So talk your talk and laugh your laugh. That won't shiver my heart. His secret tabernacle will guide I. Guess you're
guess and test your test. That is in your own interest. To find out the power of the Most High, Most High, Most High. Jah is standing by my side, and then why should I be afraid of the pestilence that crawleth by night? If Jah is standing by my side, then why should I be afraid of the pestilence that crawleth